It looks like we got some blue anemones, so I reckon I will try to create an image or two of them. That was exactly what I was looking for today. Finally, for me that's a sign of spring here in Norway. We had a few snowdrops, most of them growing in the gardens around on this island. But this is the first wildflowers I see so far. I am shooting with my Nikon Z7 together with this Laowa 100mm 2.8. 2x macro magnification, and I used the lens head today because of the sunlight. And now I will get down on the ground. I was just observing a little bit, and there's a lot of tiny spruces, the birth of the flower, without it hasn't opened up yet. I'm trying out a new technique. I can focus stack handheld, and I have set my macro lens to 2.8, my lowest aperture available, and I have a high shutter speed. And while I manually focusing in and out, I do a burst series of images, and hopefully they are in a line. I try to hold the camera as steady as possible. So let's see if I manage to actually do a handheld manual focused image. It's gonna be exciting to see. Try it this way now. I found my blue anemones today, and it didn't go as planned as usual. That's fine with me. I got to try out handheld manual focus stacking, a technique I recently discovered, and I'm so excited about how this result will turn out, because I feel like I managed to make it. One key ingredient in macro photography is a sturdy tripod. This what I have is too large for the macro photography I do today, because okay, I can put the legs out in a line like this, but still there's this gap, and I want to go all the way down on the floor and shooting in the eye level with the flower, or perhaps even further down and looking slightly up on the flower. But you can do it handheld, and I also love to use this one thing here. This is always handy when you're shooting macro and you are getting down on the ground. I can put my knees on this so I don't have to get wet on my jeans. I also like to gardening my scene, removing little twigs or maybe a leaf. Ja.
Hei.
Hei. Er det foto på gang?
Ja, Fugl. Du på blåveis og
Jeg er på alt, egentlig. I've just talked to this other photographer, and he's He's photographing birds, but he told me that he found some white blue anemones further down this trail. So I was a little bit excited and intrigued by hearing that. So I decided to pack my bag and head down this trail. Maybe I can find it. There's not any mushrooms on this trunk yet. This usually has a lot. My search for the blue anemones that are white failed. At least I got a little hike and the opportunity to see what is going on in my local coastline woodland. So yeah, I'm thinking about heading back to the blue anemones and maybe frame up at least one or two new compositions. I was really excited about shooting the blue anemones and the feeling of spring that it gives me. But what I do love the most when I do my macro photography is to create little worlds out of the small details. And on this exact location I found this dead old branch sitting still on a trunk, and there grows a little bit of lichen, moss, and some, I think there are mushrooms of some sort. I don't know the name for it. Maybe you can comment. And as you probably can tell, I'm at a level where I can use my tripod for optimized stabilization, and that's the preferred way of doing macro photography. And on this tiny little branch, there is a completely different world than what we are used to see. That was the end of the day 2 out doing macro photography. And I'm still thinking about attempting one more try. I remember last year it was my first year with the macro lens, and I was struggling so much, and I think I made most of my images in one shot. So I was clueless about the focus stacking and so many techniques you can do to enhance your images to create something more than just a decent image. One of the benefits with macro is that when there is strong sunlight like today and blue sky, you can always find interesting subjects down on the ground. And I don't have a a diffuser yet, but I'm thinking about that. It's day 3 of macro photography. So I came prepared to lay down on the ground, and the first subject of interest was on a trunk, so I could sit on my comfortable pads, and I could use my tripod for a few of the compositions there. This might be one interesting subject. There was some frost tonight. It's melting rapidly, very fast now. It would be very interesting to showcase the ice crystals together with these plants here on this trunk. I hope I got it, but I'm not totally sure. Yeah, this is what macro photography is all about. Really paying attention to all the fine details in this trunk right here. There's so many different plants growing on it, and together with that ice from the frost night, it is really interesting, especially with my lens and zooming in. Don't forget to turn off the lens hood. I couldn't see anything, it was black, and I just zooming in and out, and I forgot to take this lens cap off. Very often when shooting macro photography of flowers, I want to get in the eye level with the flower. I have the camera all the way on the ground like this. Just found some decaying plants, and the way they are withered makes for such an ethereal feeling. And it's sun shining today, it's a bright light, and it makes this scene really stand out. They are very, very white with a subtle yellow in it, and when I do macro like this, I prefer to use an aperture of f2.8 handheld with a high enough shutter speed to freeze the motion because of the winds. And I don't really think it's necessary to focus stack. You can do it, but I like the ethereal feeling it gets from being a little bit of abstract-ish. So yeah, I like that a lot. So very fun to play with this. So yes, I really hope that you enjoyed this video about macro photography. I hope you got away with a few tips. We are not all doing it in the same way. There are professionals that include lighting and have more technique. I like it simple. I like to do my photography as simple as possible, but that's not for everyone's taste. I do like to focus stack in some occasions, but I feel like that's more important when you photograph one subject and you want the entire subject in focus. Anyway, for me, macro photography is discovering a world we often go by. A tiny world where you have to get down, dirty, on the ground and really pay attention and observe what is going on down there. In our everyday life, we just walk by so many things that, for example, me, like to take a deep dive into what's going down there. That's the question. That's what I want to find the answers for. By doing this, you really get to see the world in a brand new perspective. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. And please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I will make much more content in the future, and I upload weekly videos. So please subscribe, then you don't miss out on any of it. So yeah, until next time, out.